I'm Hyundai the Dietitian, and welcome to Healthy Made Simple, where I show you how to make healthy eating simple. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make this high antioxidant, high protein dip, which is going to be a beet hummus dip that we're going to make really easily at home. Hummus is already a great high protein dip in itself, and the addition of beets adds a nice nutrition boost to it. Now, beets are really rich in nutrients. They are a great source of antioxidants, as well as fiber, B vitamins, iron, manganese, and vitamin C. So there's a lot of nutrients in there, and it's not a vegetable that we typically incorporate very often into our diets. For me personally, I don't like the taste of beets. The only time I've had them outside of this beet hummus is typically when it's kind of sliced up and added into a salad, and I don't enjoy that. So if you're like that and you don't enjoy it, this might be a great alternative for you, or maybe you love beets and you want to incorporate them more often. With this, by adding in a little bit less beets and kind of gauging how much you like in there, you can get the taste of this pretty close to just being hummus, with that extra nutrition boost coming from the addition of beets to give it this beautiful color, as well as some extra nutrients. So if you're interested to see how you can make this delicious and nutritious beet hummus, stay tuned for my recipe. Alrighty, let's go. Now for this, you're going to be needing your blender or food processor. Either one works. And we're going to start by putting all of our ingredients in there. First, I have a can of chickpeas. So chickpeas are garbanzo beans. And what I did with these is I drained them and then I rinsed them off until all of the bubbles were gone. So I try to make sure I removed as much of that canning liquid as possible to keep this lower on the sodium side. I do that with any canned bean products. So we got our chickpeas in there. Next is going to be a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and this was the juice of about a medium-sized lemon. So medium to large lemon juiced. Great. Next, I'm going to be putting in a clove of minced garlic, and this is actually a frozen garlic that I had in the freezer. So I just took it out a little before I started doing this so it would defrost, but there we go. You can also do fresh garlic that you minced up yourself, totally fine. And then next we're going to be doing olive oil, and you're going to need 2 tablespoons of olive oil for this. So we're going to do 1 tablespoon and then another one. And I'm just using, I don't even think this is actually Trader Joe's in here. I think this is the Kirkland olive oil that I'm using, that I just happen to have on hand. All right, great. And then next is going to be salt. We're going to go in with the salt, and you can do salt to taste. I just do a couple rounds in there. Great. Okay, so this is the start of our hummus base. What we're going to do is we're going to blend this up, and if I was actually, okay, put my blender top. If I was actually not adding in the beets, after I blend this up, I would be doing the water next, but I'm going to show you how I add in the beets, and then I'll show you how you can actually customize this for other versions of this hummus recipe as well. So once you got everything in there, let me pull out my blender and we'll get this blended up. All right, I got my blender here, so let's blend this up. All right, with the initial blend, you're gonna see that it's going to be very chunky. Our whole goal was just to break it down a little bit at first. And let me show you. You can see it's still really chunky. This is not necessarily the consistency we're looking for. Now, if I was gonna not add in the beets, this is where I would be adding in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water to smooth this out. But first we're gonna add in the beets, and since the beets have their own liquid in there, we'll see how smooth it makes it, and then if needed, we'll add in the water afterwards. Now for my beets, I am using just pre-cooked beets. These are from Trader Joe's. These are the baby beets that have been steamed and peeled, and they're ready to eat. And these have a crazy shelf life on them. I got these weeks ago. This is mid-February that I'm filming this right now. So I definitely got this back in January, and these are good until July. So that's a pretty long time if you wanna get an option like this instead of, I have done fresh beets before where I peeled it and steamed it myself, and I found it to be a huge effort to do that, and I think this is just so convenient to do. And with these products, I'll open it up and show you what they look like. And I've seen, even though this is Trader Joe's, I have seen pre-cooked beets like this at just regular other grocery stores as well too. So if you don't have a Trader Joe's near you, you can always check for other grocery stores as well. And clearly I don't know how to open up this box. Okay, so inside you're gonna get this vacuum sealed bag of beets like this, and this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beets in here. Now I'm going to use half for this recipe, and depending on how much beet flavor you like in there, you can do more or less. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use like 2 of the small ones. You can kind of see they're different sizes. I'm going to use 2 of the small ones and 1 of the bigger ones for this, for a relatively mild flavor, not going too overboard. So I'll pull these out and stick them into my blender cup next. All right, I got this opened up, and you can see it. I've drained out as much of the liquid that's in there already into my hummus so that it'll add that liquid. You can either do water or the actual liquid from the beets, which I think is preferable because you're gonna have more beet juice in there. And I put in 3 pieces, and I ended up with, I think, 2 of the bigger ones and 1 of the smaller ones, but I'll show you what that looks like in there, just like that. So we're gonna close this guy up, and then we're gonna blend it up. And if we find that it's too thick, then that's the time to add in water until we get to the consistency that we want to get to. And for my water, I just grab literally a cup of good drinking water, and I have my tablespoon measure with me. So I'll blend it up, see how it looks, add in water as needed to create a really nice, smooth consistency. So let's get this into our blender. I always like to give things a shape before I stick it on there to help it blend better. All right, here we go. Alrighty, this is done. Look at that pretty color. I just realized how perfect this is with Valentine's Day tomorrow. So maybe if you're looking to impress a special someone, you might want to make them a little heart-shaped beet hummus or something. That would be a cool little healthy treat. Okay, so this is what I ended up with, and you can kind of see, let me pull out a spoon here and I'll show you the consistency of this. I actually think this is a perfect consistency. I don't think it needs more water. I did drip a lot of the juice in there, the beet juice in there. You see how it drips down like that? That's a good consistency, I think. And I'll show you what a spoonful looks like. This hummus is just so easy to make. And this is a good point for you to make adjustments to salt levels if you need to. I'll give it a little taste. I'll grab a small spoon. I don't want to dig into that with a big spoon. I'll grab a small spoon and take a taste. Yummy. Oh, that's good. It's heavier on the lemon. So if you don't like too much lemony flavor, you can always do less lemon, but I really do like this. The beet adds a really nice sweetness to it that you wouldn't get otherwise. And again, as I mentioned, if you're not a huge fan of beets, just start with adding 1 little ball in there, see how it goes. Then if you want to, you can always add in more, but I think this is delicious. This is going to be a really amazing dip with some veggies or pita chips or crackers, pretzel sticks, so many options. Let me put this in on a plate so I can show you what it looks like once you plated it up and made it look all pretty. And here's what the final product looks like. I just drizzled some olive oil on top, and then I added in some parsley for garnish. And there is the delicious hummus ready for dipping. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped give you a good idea of how you can make a high antioxidant and high protein dip at home using beets and hummus. And hopefully this gave you a good base hummus recipe as well. Hummus is so easy to make at home, and you can customize it using different additives. Like you could probably do a roasted red pepper one, or you can do heavier on the garlic, and just have different varieties so that you can incorporate this high protein dip as part of a healthy diet. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't already done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos like this where I continue to show you how to make healthy eating simple and easy at home. Thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.